Hi, welcome to the Urban Outdoors with SoCal video. My name is Danny Milton, and today we're going to be testing and comparing the Active Track 2.0 to the Active Track 3.0 down here at the beach. This is a scenario that I've always wanted to try. I do surf a lot, and I always wondered if I would be able to, lock onto myself and track myself, leaving the beach, paddling out into the waves and catching waves, obviously on my surfboard. So today I want to test and see if the Mavic 2 Zoom or the Mavic Air 2 will be able to track my son as he goes out into the waves. First, he's going to swim around, catch a couple waves, body surf, and see if either drone will be able to track him as he goes from the beach to where it should be able to lock on to out in the water, and just to see if it'll be able to keep lock and follow him around as he's swimming and surfing and doing all that fun stuff. All right, so here's my test subject. This is my son. This is one of my sons, Jake. He's 16 years old. You can tell he's got his Coronication haircut going right now. It's crazy. So he's going to be going out into the water. He's going to swim, body surf a couple waves, come back in. Okay, so we locked on the beach. It's following my son Jake out into the water. We're doing a little screen record here just to show what the drone is seeing and what we're going to do here.
Tracking subject lost.
Oh, so he dove under a wave and the phone or the app said he was lost, but as soon as he popped up, it locked back on pretty well.
Tracking subject lost. Tracking subject lost.
So every time he jumps through a wave or goes under a wave, the app says tracking subject lost. But as soon as he pops back up, it's locking onto him pretty well. As you can see on the screen recording here, it's following him pretty decently. It's staying locked on pretty well. This is the Mavic 2 Zoom that we're using.
Tracking subject lost.
Oh, almost lost him. Oh, there it goes. Oh wow, look. So it started to track the forward part of the wave that he had caught, and then it lost him.
Tracking subject lost.
Look at that, wow. It's actually doing a pretty good job of recapturing him once he goes underwater and the app loses the tracking subject. As soon as he pops back up out of the water, it's locking onto him really well. Let's see what it does here. Did a good job that time as well. It's really doing a good job of staying locked onto him as he's moving around. It followed him the whole time he was on that wave, although he didn't stay with the wave the whole time. But it never lost him during that segment, which is really nice. Okay, what we're gonna do now is I stopped the active track. Gonna lower the drone a little bit. Go about 10 feet. So I stopped the active track while he was out in the water. Now what I want to do is see if it will be able to lock onto him while he's out in the water. So active track. Oh, it did pick him up. Nice. Let's see. Wow, it was able to pick him up while he was out in the water. I didn't have to draw a box around him or anything. You saw the circle popped up. It locked onto him and started tracking right away, which is really good. So let's see, go into active track. Wow, it picked him up really quickly. There we go. So from 20 feet, it was still able to find him in the water, lock on, and now we're locked on, and looks like he's coming in for a minute, which is perfect. Something like that on the drone, just the stock lens. Okay, so you can see there, the first wave he dove under, it lost tracking just for a split second, and as soon as he stood back up, it locked on again, just like the Mavic 2 Zoom. It's probably, let's say, 8 feet off the surface of the water. the height right now is only showing 1 foot because it's only 1 foot higher than where it took off from. Okay, I lost him there. Tracking subject lost. Let's see, I'm not going to touch the sticks. Let's see if it will lock back onto him. I think the drone was just too close. Draw it, locked on, go. Let's try from, I'm going to raise the height a little bit. Okay, so you can see there, it lost him again. Okay, so we're going to try to lock back onto him. It's not picking him up very well. There we go. Okay, so this time we're a little bit higher. I was able to lock back onto him while he was moving around in the water. Let's see what happens here when he catches this wave. Okay, that was better. Oh, no, we lost him. Almost. Check before starting active track. Nope, completely lost him again. Oh, wow. So we're having a total breakdown here of active track on the Mavic Air. Okay, so we've lost our subject several times using the Mavic Air. Let's see. Okay, we're locked onto him. Let's start all that. Trace, go. Target too far, adjust distance. Well, if you're locked onto him, just go. Lock on. Go. Okay. We're locked back on. We're a little bit farther from our subject now. I'm a little bit higher. I'm probably, let's say, 20 feet off the surface of the water. Let's see if it follows. Follow, follow, follow. Now that is definitely something that the Mavic Air 2 with the Active Track 3.0 will do better, is when the subject gets really close to, directly beneath the drone, this drone will be able to spin quicker and stay acquired to the subject longer. Whereas if you do that on the Mavic 2 Zoom with the Active Track 2.0, it will just completely lose you because the drone won't react fast enough and the tracking will lose you. So now we're doing a fairly good job of tracking the subject. The drone is flying backwards, which is really nice. With the subject coming towards the drone, we'll see if it spins out to the side or changes the angle. Like we're about to catch a wave here. Oh, and it lost him. As soon as he started to catch the wave, it lost him. Let's see if it'll lock back on. Oh, it did lock back on. Okay, very nice. I'm going to try and rotate the drone so it's between me and the beach. So instead of, because anytime the Active Track, anytime the Mavic Zoom was chasing, it was always behind him. It was between the beach and the waves, or the beach and the ocean. So let's see if the Mavic Air 2 will do better from that angle. As soon as he starts to catch a wave though, oh, stay, almost. See, was, oh, okay, and it locked back on. Okay, that was nice. Now see, the difference between what the Air 2 did there and what the Mavic 2 Zoom would do is, as soon as he started to catch that wave and come towards the drone, instead of the drone sweeping out to one side or the other like the Mavic 2 Zoom does, this drone will stay above and, maybe point the camera down instead of sweeping out to one side or the other. And that type of kind of camera angle sometimes will confuse the Active Track. whether it's the 2.0 or the 3.0. Wow, look at the aggressive flying that the drone is doing, trying to track him, compared to what the Mavic 2 Zoom will do. Oh, and we're completely lost. What happened there? I don't even know what happened there. Let's see if we can lock back on. Okay, that's not locked onto him. That's just the general area. Target lost. No, that's still not locked onto him. So I'm really impressed on how well the Mavic 2 Zoom was able to track Jake while he was out on the water, going under waves. You know, every time he would go under a wave, it would lose him for just a split second and then pick him right back up. Whereas the Mavic Air 2, sometimes he would go under the water, tracking would lose him, and then sometimes it would pick him back up, sometimes it wouldn't. Another thing the Mavic 2 Zoom was able to do was it was able to, once I lost tracking or if I stopped tracking, I was able to find him very easily and lock back onto him. Whereas the Mavic Air 2 is having a difficult time doing that. Sometimes if you're not close enough to the subject, it wouldn't be able to lock on. Whereas pretty much every time I tried to, you know, lock back onto the Mavic 2 Zoom using the Active Track 2.0, it would lock onto him, and even the little circle would pop up on him. I wouldn't have to draw a box around him or do anything like that. Whereas the Mavic Air 2, sometimes I would draw that box and it wouldn't lock onto him. It would just lock onto that specific area. I'd have to get really close to the subject, or Jake obviously, to lock onto him with the Mavic Air 2. Also, when I was tracking him with the Mavic Air 2, when he would start to catch a wave and, you know, body surf it, sometimes if he would fly directly towards the Mavic Air 2, instead of sweeping out to the right or the left, which is what the Mavic 2 Zoom will do, it would just kind of try to follow the subject underneath, and sometimes it would lose him, sometimes it wouldn't. The Mavic 2 Zoom with the Active Track 2.0 did a much better job today tracking Jake while he was walking out in the water, reacquiring him every time he would dive under a wave. The Mavic Air 2 with the Active Track 3.0 is just a little bit too aggressive, and it also needs to be a lot closer to the subject to lock on, or once it's lost that subject, like when he would dive under a wave, it would have a hard time sometimes, you know, reacquiring him. So overall, in this instance, the Mavic 2 Zoom with the Active Track 2.0 did a much better job than the Mavic Air 2 with the Active Track 3.0. I am definitely going to come down to the beach again to try this out, hopefully on a sunnier day, maybe, you know, a little bit more contrast will help out the Mavic Air 2. I'm also going to be doing another video in a couple of weeks of me on my mountain bike. I've already done several videos using the Mavic 2 Zoom and the Active Track 2.0. You can click on those links right there if you want to watch that. I'm going to have, you know, I'm going to go to the same trails, have the Mavic Air 2 chase me down those trails, and hopefully we'll get, you know, better video out of that. Thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. Do all that fun stuff for me. Like, share, comment, definitely subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. And the last thing you do is click on one of these boxes up in the corners. One will take you to a rides playlist, another to a favorite video, and always you can click that logo in the bottom, the Urban Outdoorsman SoCal logo, to subscribe. Thanks a lot.